Basketball on the Big Ten Network is presented by Jeep for the first time since 1927 when they helped open up this building. The Illinois Fighting Illini come in ranked 22nd to take on the Washington Huskies. With Don McClain, I'm Guy Haberman. It's a great time for this game because
he's going to have to do that again here this afternoon if Washington's going to win again.
How will each of these teams respond to riding high big wins? Good crowd here today. A lot of orange in the stands. And so many eyes on Yakachonis.
He is big time guy. I saw him. I've obviously watched him a lot on tape and on TV, but watching him yesterday live in practice, this kid, when he's in the high ball screen or on the side ball screen.
Here he is with it now. Ivicic tosses it to White, and Breidenbach the rebound. Defending the offensive glass is such a key for Washington today.
Well, Illinois, they're one of the best rebounding teams, if not the best rebounding team, not in the Big Ten, but in the country, plus 12.4 rebounding margin. So a big deal for Washington today to keep Illinois off of both boards.
There's Osipor, give it up to Tyree Ihenacho.
Well, here's the thing what happened the other night, and I mentioned in our open about how they controlled the game, Washington. They're not going to walk it up, but once they get into the half court, if they don't have something early, they are going to use a lot of that shot clock and make Illinois guard for the majority of it.
Yakachonis rips the ball and scores.
Well, the other thing Yakachonis has is good size, so he can see over the top of smaller guards, smaller defenders, but just unselfish. He lets the game dictate how he plays. Terrific young player.
Brad Underwood saying he's so impressed with the strength that he arrived with in his freshman year. Offensive rebound for Tyler Harris. And right now, Donna, it feels like people are not afraid to put a very high ceiling on this group.
No, there's another good read by Yakachonis. And here's the thing, and you could probably say this about any team in the country because of the board.
Ben Humrickhouse gets it into Trey White. And he scores.
The thing that's interesting about how Illinois plays offense is you have to stay attached outside because everyone can shoot. So we want him to be a facilitator. We want the ball in his hands making plays. And that's for himself and others.
Ivicic with a nice move.
This Illinois team's just so hard to guard because of their ability to times, like you saw there from Ivicic, it's going to be a layup instead of a three.
Ihenacho, clean look at a three, can't connect.
That's the one thing Washington, you hope, gets better at, is they're not a very good three-point shooting team. They're not a very good foul shooting team.
These were the scores. There was a three-game stretch. You make a trip that long.
Old building. Changed since I played here in the late 80s, early 90s. Beautiful place now.
Here's Humrickhouse. Osipor broke it up, and Mason's out in front. Gibbs Lawhorn comes over and denies him, but is whistled for the foul. Oh my goodness. What?
Pretty good sequence there. And there you see the mentality of the Illinois defense. No freebies. And Gibbs Lawhorn, he just, you know what, I might foul you, but you ain't dunking it. That's for sure.
At 6'1", what it's supposed to look like.
He's the captain of the team. And, not one of the major control that offense, and it's this defense. Elite rebounding team. See him in person if we can maybe get a shot of that at some point. How big his hands are. Look, there he goes again.
Wow. Tyler Harris scores.
Well, that's how it's going to have to be. They're going to have to dig out. They're going to have to get possessions where they get stops and get out and get easy ones so that Illinois can't get back and get that lethal defense they have set.
Trying to weather the early storm from Illinois. Ivicic hits a three.
He can do that, and that's what really sets this Illinois. One of those 7 seconds or less shots for Gibbs Lawhorn.
The book still holds up, huh?
Yeah.
20 years later. There's Makai Mason.
Well, if you think you have better personnel, you want more possessions. If you don't think you have as good a personnel, you want less possessions. And Brad Underwood thinks he's got the best personnel in the country.
Will Riley, the touted freshman.
Yeah, good-looking young freshman. I think just scratching the surface of what he can do offensively. He's had some big moments. But like every freshman, consistency is the thing. I think the more this goes on, the more consistent Riley's going to be, but super talented.
Yakachonis with the interception. And Gibbs Lawhorn lays it in. And Humbrickhouse had a great game the other night. A great game against Oregon to help push his three-point percentage up higher. Trey White in traffic.
That's what he does. He's so good at that. Started his career at USC and went to
take advantage.
But what does that speak to? How good the Illinois defense is.
Gibbs Lawhorn has made a couple of great defensive plays, and now he gets his second field goal of the day.
They just hit you from so many different ways.
He had 11 in the first half. The other day, Yakachonis didn't score in the first half, but Gibbs Lawhorn had 11 off the bench.
Well, the thing is that the difference between Washington and Illinois, at least right now, is Osibor has to score. Iheanacho gets to follow for Washington to.
Trey White has it knocked away, but finds Yakachonis. Gibbs Lawhorn.
Just good individual offense that time. Gibbs Lawhorn, a major factor here.
And the Huskies still cannot
have to shoot it though, guys. Like, it's wide open. Pass.
Johnson, what a catch! Freshman to freshman.
Screen action, or like you see that booty ball they call it, where you just back the defender down and try and make a play.
11 on the shot clock. Right to Humbrickhouse for the basket.
To pass all night, he'll pass all night. If they leave him open, he'll shoot all night. Doesn't matter.
I know one thing you love about him is that the simple things aren't always so simple. There's a three. It breaks the seal. Washington missed its first 8. Louis Cartwright gets one down.
Well, you have to understand that running ball screen offense isn't easy, especially for freshmen, because it's not really taught. But in Europe, it's taught. It just seems normal, but it's really not for an 18-year-old playing their first year of college basketball.
And for a guy averaging 16 points a game, and there's another three, DJ Davis.
You feel like, and we talked about it the other night,
Oregon was ranked 9th in the AP poll. Illinois is now 5 in the net rating.
Well, why don't you ask Brad Underwood what he thinks about the rankings? He does not care. He cares about the net and the KenPom. That's all he cares about.
The answer you'll get will be something like, "Don't get me started."
Yeah.
And then he'll get started. And he's right.
Yeah, rankings don't matter.
Trey White?
It's nice for the fan base to say, "Oh, my team's ranked whatever they're ranked," but when it comes down to it, what we're talking about is Davis again. When it comes down to it, when you get to the NCAA tournament, like Illinois is seeming, like I said earlier, I think Danny Sprinkle's going to get it to that point. May not be this year, but very soon.
Here's Diallo. Now the offense is getting going for Washington.
That's the game because Davis has come in and hit a couple threes.
Yeah. Nearly a turnover, but an open look. Humbrickhouse in and out, and Ivisic there to clean it up.
That's the problem. You got to get out to shooters, and that leaves that paint open. And this Illinois team, offensive rebounds as good as any team in the country.
Well, they're plus 11 right now overall rebounding is Illinois. 22-11 on the boards. Diallo foul.
And now that we're into league play, the teams can really spend time on getting ready. It's only one so far for Illinois.
And they've taken almost the same number of overall shots, so the rate.
Point blank in there. He's got to convert those to keep that Washington defense honest.
DJ Davis. His third three of the half.
I'm telling you, I saw it the other night. You can just tell when players who have been struggling make a couple, their body language changes, just they look different. And I'm glad he's followed it up again here this afternoon, making some more.
Yakachonis answers.
I'm sure that guy's not afraid of the moment.
And Illinois' board.
Don't mind it, though. He has put, like I said earlier, he has put a lot of pressure on the Illinois defense.
Oh, Yakachonis is feeling it now.
Off the bounce, step back.
He's got 10
now. That's just pro stuff, guy. It just is. I mean, I know the college line's a couple feet in front of the NBA line, but it's just pro.
How is he not going to get a triple-double before the year's done?
I'm sure he will.
Davis, another hit.
I'm telling you, this guy has been a elite shooter from the foul line and the three-point line. His first two stops at Irvine and at Butler. Has struggled early, but coming on Thursday and following it up tonight.
Trey White draws the foul.
He's catching it and letting it fly. There is zero hesitation. That's what I saw the other night. They have given Washington a lot of hope here with a minute left in the first half.
One of Courtright, open look.
Good decision. Just didn't get it to go down. I like the way they're playing offensively, though, Guy. They're shooting threes. They have to, or people are just going to continue to load to Osobor and double him and get it out of his hands. The more they don't have to make all the yardless.
Will Riley drew the foul on Tyler Harris, who's committed 2,030 seconds
to 36-second differential. I think you'll see Washington take this all the way down. For the game with under a minute to go in the first half, if he hadn't scored, it'd be 25 or 30.
He bats that out, but to Trey White. Shot clock is off. Akachona sees it.
Did you see Osobor get to that ball, though, how long his arms are? It's unbelievable. Gets his hands on so many 50-50 balls.
Oh, that's tough. And it nearly goes. But despite that miss, a strong first half for Illinois. The category of statement necessarily like beating Oregon was on Thursday, but to get a sweep of the Pacific Northwest would be pretty significant considering it's, there's two unbeaten teams in league play left.
Rickhouse knocks down the long three. Yeah, we're in league play, Guy. You'll take any win at this point, especially on the road. So, yeah, they may not end up winning this game if they do, Illinois, by like how we've seen. But it doesn't matter. A win is a win is a win at this point of the season. Trying to get Osobor started here in the second half. 2 possessions in a row. Scores on that one.
His first basket of the game. Evie Sitch, long miss to Davis.
It's hard to play a slower pace when you're down.
Osobor gets the foul drawn on Evie Sitch. It's his game. It's his 100th free throw.
For him, because he's going to get fouled a lot. Teams aren't going to let him deep post position and score.
Boswell catch and shoot.
Just not shooting it as well, obviously, as they did the other night. But it's hard as a team. 16 for 29. How many nights are you going to do that?
Evie Sitch with
he said the last time, if he's not going to make his free throws, you'll live with him.
Kachonis.
Fine.
Trey White shot it well in the first half. And there's an offensive rebound. Trey White, pretty move.
That's an area we haven't had to talk much about here this afternoon is Allen John Davis. You mentioned the 14 first half points, 4 of 8 from behind the line. It is going to be awfully difficult for Davis to get the clean looks he had in the first half.
Diallo.
Against Maryland on Thursday night. So like we were saying with Davis, Illinois understands the scouting report.
Osobor commits the foul and 1 it counts.
Pretty heads-up play by Bomzar. That's why he didn't pull the trigger initially. I have a feeling that may have had something to do with it. And it takes the contact, and that's what you do as an offensive player. Get the contact, just put it up there. Worst case, you get the free. It's going to really get back into this thing. Illinois makes a play. Back up to 13.
But it's been about a 10-point game, give or take, since then. Here's Louis Courtright trying to get it on Rickhouse, and he scores.
Good individual offense that time. Courtright.
Lost it.
Good defense, Mason.
And that pass is knocked away.
Coming right back at you, Illinois.
Boswell blocked by Osobor, but Trey White gets fouled and the basket counts. And this team definitely has a couple headliners. The best teams may have 3 or 4. But, that leaves a guy on maybe the next tier in terms of attention that's critical to winning. Mm-hmm. And Trey White has been so good on this trip. He's a win. He's proven to be a winning player.
Well, and that's what I've been kind of getting at all afternoon is that where do you plug the hole? Probably needs to throw it out because that one created a turnover.
Illinois is plus 12 on the boards now. There's Boswell with another basket.
Board that they could really hurt Washington, and they're obviously ahead, but not really, really hurting them, except for these 3 or 4 offensive rebounds they've gotten in the second half.
Iheanacho, Ivisic staying all the way with him, and there's Breidenbach who takes advantage of the rebound.
So what you're saying is that was a long time ago.
It was when this building opened. They dedicated the building. It was great seeing some of those photos earlier in the broadcast of the program from that day. Ivisic with 9 points now here in this place.
Those windows have always been there.
Does it feel the same way as when you were here as a player?
No, it feels like there's a Breidenbach knocks down the mid. See if Washington make another push here.
When you were here, the track was underneath the floor.
Underneath, yep. Like a real track, like a running track.
Breidenbach at deep 3.
Big shot. They needed that. Now they're under 10. That gives them a little more life. The crowd's starting to come alive a little bit. If they can string together some stops here, Washington.
Gives Lawhorn, quiets the crowd.
Probably a couple years ago.
I remember the hook and hold.
Don't see it very often anymore.
Humrickhouse got his own rebound, and then Breidenbach gets whistled for the foul. 3 years at the NAIA level, and then last year at Evansville in the Missouri Valley. He's from Tips high school basketball games.
1 stoplight per 1,000 people.
That's
what
right.
You're saying?
Yep. It was fun talking to him. He's really starting to settle in.
He's going to be a major factor at his size, and we've talked all afternoon here about how Illinois plays offense. If you're a floor spacer at that size, it's hard to close out and get a piece of it because you can shoot right over the top.
That goes down. Davis.
They are finally starting to see the DJ Davis that they thought they were getting at Irvine and Butler.
Boswell draws the foul. This is what Illinois loves to do. For as fast as they go, they're happy to just tap. Free throws and threes.
Isn't Washington the second most free throw attempt?
Depending on what day. I think they were third coming into the weekend.
But they shoot a lot too.
They do. Yep. They haven't tonight. Davis. His 6th 3 of the game. Tying a career high.
They're running stuff for him now, and Illinois has got to be aware. He got it going in the first half, and I thought they'd lock him up or at least try to. And Davis getting free again here in the second half.
How did Washington get this down to 7? Vakachonis. And Boswell with a strong offensive rebound, and he draws the foul on.
Or maybe not. Point game. Washington can play however they want. They can slow this thing down if they want. 3-possession game. And going to this guy.
Great Osobor. In on Johnson. And he'll go to the line. The foul, and he misses the first. The foul.
We're doing great. We've cut it to 7. We have to try and get still the 6-point lead.
Illinois, a team that makes 10 a game, which leads the league. Made 19 the other night, or 16 the other night against Oregon. Osobor gets it back. Humrickhouse doubles. Osobor bullies in and draws the foul on Ivisic.
Any kind of defense, but post defense, just get them to miss.
And the second.
Unbelievable, a 4-point game. Comes the crowd. Who's going to step up and make a shot for Illinois? Might be this guy.
He hasn't scored in the second half. Gibbs Lawhorn, no, and Osobor fouls Vakachonis.
Tell you what, Washington has done a really good job on him today.
Both free throws, and now Boswell's going to come back in for Gibbs Lawhorn. .17 Illinois first half lead, 11-point halftime lead. Zoom Diallo Diallo downhill.
So athletic. With the body control of Diallo. Looking for contact. Didn't really get it. Still able to finish.
Boswell on the other end.
Defense that time. Stayed vertical.
Humrick House. Now Trey White. That's tough. Trey White's got 15.
Back. He got out there pretty fast.
He did look good, didn't he? That'd be a great sign for Washington. DJ Davis. Oh! He is on fire. His 7-3.
But you can't lay on ball screens. You know he's got it going. He's coming off with the ball in his hands. Illinois defender laid on that screen. Wide open look for Davis.
A career day. Ivicic. And White answers.
Good ball movement, Illinois.
DJ Davis has 7 threes, the most for a Big Ten player this year, the most of his career.
They need 1 or 2 more from him.
Tyler Harris defended well and still scores.
The size of Harris over the top of Trey White. 5-point game again.
Zoom Diallo guarding on Yakachonis. Great matchup. Yakachonis makes that look easy.
Diallo's been all over him.
Davis, look at this move, but it won't go down.
Don't mind it, though. You got it going like he's had all afternoon, and you like that shot.
Boswell right downhill. And a flex. Second half, it doesn't matter. You see that note. The last 23 points have come in the paint or at the free throw line.
Awesome boy.
It's Courtright. He swishes it.
Shot. Didn't think that's the guy that would be knocking it down from 3, but a huge shot to make it a 2-possession game.
His second of the day. Yakachonis sees the size advantage and then creates for Boswell. His 6th assist, and Boswell's got 12 all in the second half.
About the awareness of Yakachonis where Boswell was, and then Boswell, the intelligence to catch it in the air and finish it. He brings that down. He may not finish it or have to go to the line to get the points.
Davis, Asabor, and he scores. And Washington will take another timeout.
Run some clock down.
Yakachonis, a step back 3. And it's out of bounds.
Too quick. Didn't get to his plant. Dig into the goes here. White on Diallo. No, Boswell.
Asabor the screen. Diallo. Courtright just hit a 3. Slips. Keeps his feet.
Nice job by Humrickhouse not to foul him there.
6 boards for Humrickhouse today.
I'd say Illinois, as fast as they play, may not be going so fast here. Shorten this game a little bit.
Ivicic. And a foul from Yakachonis going over the back, his 3rd.
Not a good foul. Stops the clock.
Free throw shooter. And he makes the 1st in this game.
4-point game. Now Washington doesn't need to foul, but they need a stop. See how far Illinois takes this down on the shot clock.
The crowd rises. Trey White.
Good kick out.
Ivicic won't have it go down. Boswell goes flailing. It's out of bounds to Washington.
It's not like they've been bad shots either, guy. They have had good looks all second half.
Davis. Inside. With the finish. It is a 1-possession possession game. Davis, a career-high 29 points. Trey White inbounding it, and he throws it away. Courtright tracks it down, and this game is tied.
"20-second differential shot in game clock, so Washington will get it back no matter what."
Yakuchonis gives Illinois the lead back.
What do you do, Guy? Do you go for three here to win in front of this home crowd?
You take a timeout and draw it up. Washington knocked off Maryland on Thursday, and here's DJ Davis in the midst of a career day. Davis attacks, has it knocked away by Trey White. Down to the floor they go. It's a tie-up, and the ball goes to Illinois on the possession arrow.
And then get a turnover. And then foul.
Yakuchonis is the one that gets fouled right in that tight corner. It's a very... The young phenom from Lithuania makes the first.
To have something in place.
Clutch free throws. Great day this has been here in Seattle. Here's Davis. 7 threes for him, but he goes in for the quick two, and he got it.
You're going to have to make free throws again.
White looking to get it in. Gets it into Boswell, who's fouled right away.
On how the second half has gone. Not going to let DJ Davis or one of those guys make a three.
Doesn't matter. Boswell makes both. It's a 4-point game. Illinois coaches instructing everybody to back away.
Let him shoot it. But why are you even close to him?
Davis heaves it. No contact, and Illinois survives. The first trip to Seattle since 1927. A classic finish. And the Fighting Illini beat Washington 81-77.